me was not enough to hold us. The night sky continued to beckon.
And so we left to chase the galaxies.
We drift along to a future that remains unknown to us.
Weary wanderers, we travel star to star.
GK Music and Magic Voice Records present Star to Star 3, The Curse of Immortality.
Starring Charlotte Ferris, Mark Gross, Bridget Gross, Valerie Thomas, and Brian Smith.
Get those thrusters working again.
I'm trying! The asteroid badly damaged them. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to do.
Sensors are picking up 2 planets that might be in range. I'll try to figure out which one will be more hospitable. How much time do we have?
An hour at best. But the ride is only going to get shakier.
Well, then it's an easy decision. We'll only make one of those planets in an hour at this speed. I'm setting a course.
Sounds good. I'll do my best to hold us together until we get there. Our lower thrusters are still intact, so we should be able to make a smooth landing at least.
How's Meteor doing?
He's hanging in there, but I'll bet he's looking forward to having his feet on solid ground.
So am I, Lieutenant. So am I.
There we go, Captain. A smooth landing.
Just what the doctor ordered. I couldn't take much more of that shaking. Do you think we'll be able to make repairs here?
What kind of readings did you get from the planet on our way into the atmosphere?
It was hard to get specifics. I didn't see any life signs, but there were atmospheric residuals of an industrialized society. So obviously something must have been wrong with the sensors.
I wonder whether the atmospheric or life sign readings were wrong.
I think we may already have our answer. 2 individuals are approaching.
They look humanoid, except for those ridges on their cheeks. Do you recognize them?
No, and I wouldn't expect to. There's been very little exploration in this part of the galaxy. This might be a new civilization that we've never encountered before.
Should we be worried?
Just be vigilant. Keep your weapon hidden, but take some readings with the handheld scanners when they approach. Just remember what to say.
Take me to your leader.
No, not that. Didn't you take the courses in First Contact Protocol at the Academy?
Calm down, I'm just joking. Of course, I know the standard doctrine.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings to you.
I am Scylla, and this is Kelmar. We are the leaders of this planet.
That didn't take long.
It is our honor that you came out to receive us. I'm a bit surprised.
The city is nearby. When we detected an unfamiliar vessel, we came out to investigate.
It was quite an interruption of our duties.
Kelmar, be polite. What is your ship called, and where are you from?
This is the USS Valiant. I'm Captain Dearborn, and this is Lieutenant Rice. Oh, and our mascot, Meteor. We're from the planet Earth, recent settlers of Rigel 10.
We are not familiar with these planets, but we welcome you here to Farna.
What is your mission here?
We aren't really on any official mission. We were just traveling nearby when we ran into mechanical trouble.
Perhaps we can be of assistance. May we inspect your vessel?
Be my guest. Captain, I've been trying to get readings like you asked, but my scanners aren't registering any life signs at all.
Could they be defective too?
It's possible, but there wouldn't be any good reason for it.
At least they seem like they want to help. They certainly don't seem hostile.
I would say their emotions in general are pretty subdued.
We should be able to recreate the exact parts you need back in the city.
That would be much appreciated.
Please, walk with us.
Wow, what an impressive city, and so crowded. Are there many life forms all across your planet?
There are none.
None? I don't understand. What about you?
We are not life forms. We are androids.
A planet of androids. Interesting.
How did you get here, may I ask?
There was once an intelligent life form living on Farna that looked very much like us. They built us to be their servants and helpers. But many years ago, they all died of a horrible sickness. Since then, we have continued to run things the best we could.
What was the nature of this disease?
We were able to sequence it, but our computers could never calculate a cure. It moves through the population very swiftly.
That sounds strange. Could it have been a biological weapon unleashed by the Farnans?
We do not really know. We have little understanding of warlike emotions like anger and greed. We were programmed to be kind and caring. We know love, but not hate. It is hard for us to imagine such a thing motivating the creation of the disease.
There were no wars at the time of the disaster. It was a tragedy, but something that could never be avoided.
Kelmar never loved the family he worked for. He has moved on from the plague very quickly, but I will never forget watching my beautiful family die from this terrible illness.
Is there a way I could learn more about your planet's history?
I'm not sure we should open our computers to strangers.
Don't be silly. These are our guests. You are free to browse the central computer here at the Capitol while we work on repairing your vessel.
You're very kind. Thank you. You seem suspicious, Lieutenant Rice.
I am. A society this advanced seldom gets wiped out by a plague, especially so quickly.
So do you think it was a chemical weapon? But Kalmar said there were no wars at the time of the disaster.
Maybe it wasn't a war that motivated the attack. Think about it. This planet has a civilization of advanced robots. We saw them all throughout the city. What if some of them, or even one of them, got tired of serving and wanted to get rid of their masters?
Have you found anything on the computer yet?
I just pulled up some recent history banks. It looks like the Farnans have been dead for over 200 years. These robots have a potentially unlimited lifespan.
What does it say about their form of government? Is it democratic?
It appears Sila and Kalmar became leaders during the disaster merely because they were in closest proximity to the capital. According to these records, the androids have no will to power, and they all work in relative harmony under the leadership of these two.
Isn't there any crime or controversy?
Apparently not. Sila and Kalmar primarily coordinate maintenance and the distribution of supplies. But they basically just interface with the central computer and let it do all the work. It's all based on logic and math. There's no emotion involved.
It seems strange, then, that they would rise up against oppression. They don't seem to have the will to autonomy, power, or any emotion that would make them even feel oppressed to begin with.
Still, something just seems off.
You mean with Kalmar? I agree. He seems sort of standoffish.
Well, I'm not sure I'll be able to get much work done on an empty stomach. Why don't we go back to the Valiant and see if we can get something to eat while they're working on it?
Please excuse my interruption. I am Boda. May I assist you?
It's like you read my mind. Look at that platter of food.
I hope it is to your satisfaction. It has been very long since we've cooked for life forms.
You cooked this instead of using a replicator?
When I served my family, it was my greatest pleasure to cook for them. It was a way I could express my gratitude for them for creating me.
You must miss your family.
Yes, but to miss is a part of an android's existence. Even before the Great Death, I had seen many generations of my family grow up and die before my eyes, such as the curse of immortality.
Did the androids try hard to rescue the Farnans from the plague?
Oh yes, but ultimately it was the central computer where most of the attention was spent. We all believed it would be able to synthesize a cure, but it was impossible, much to our dismay. It is rumored, though, that a design flaw prevented the system from processing the makeup of the disease correctly. Oh, but do not let me distract you. I will let you eat in peace. If you need anything, please press the button on the wall there and I will assist you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that gives me an interesting starting point. These systems are pretty straightforward. Maybe I can isolate that so-called design flaw and figure out how it got there. Let me get to work while I eat. Hand me that thing that looks kind of like a sandwich. That's it. Proof.
You found something?
I was able to isolate this algorithm that prevented the central computer from finding a cure. It was definitely installed intentionally.
But it could have been installed by one of the life forms, right?
No, it was interfaced directly from an electronic brain. One of the androids definitely is the culprit.
But that still doesn't prove that it was Kalmar.
That's true. But from these logs, I can tell he definitely had access during the time of the plague.
Whoa, are you alright? Let me help you sit down.
I'm okay. Just a little woozy. woozy. Captain, I didn't notice this before. The whites of your eyes appear to be turning purple.
What do you mean? Wait a minute, I think the same thing's happening to you. Oh no. This is exactly how it started.
What do you mean?
While you were working, I read more about the plague. The change in eye color was one of the first symptoms. After that, the patient's condition rapidly declined. Hit that button on the wall.
You called for assistance?
Sila, Kalmar, look at us.
Oh no, it's happening again. We thought the disease would be long dead by now.
You don't have much time. There is no cure for the plague.
Really, Kalmar? But I think that there is.
That is illogical. We have run this sequence through the central computer many times.
But we also know that there was an artificial block imposed that prevented the computer from analyzing those sequences correctly.
And you accuse me?
You had access at the time, and while Sila and Bodo mourn the loss of their families, you're the only android here who hardly seems moved at all.
This is absurd. I miss the life forms as much as anyone. I certainly did not tamper with the computer. I tried to help them.
Please, Kalmar, remove the algorithm. You can stop this death now.
No, I can't bear it. It was me.
You? After you told us how much you loved your family? After you explained that androids don't feel hatred and negative emotion?
It wasn't out of hatred that I wiped them out. It was out of love. I couldn't bear to watch more generations die. Every time a child I had cared for grew old and suffered, I suffered too. And I missed them all. I needed the cycle of life to stop. Immortality is a curse. I wanted to see death only once, and then no more. But now it's happening again.
Please, Sila, you can prevent this. Remove the block and allow the computer to synthesize the cure. Hurry! Status report, Lieutenant.
We've fully left the atmosphere now, Captain.
And how are you feeling?
Much better. A little while longer, and we might have been past the point of no return. But fortunately, with the algorithm removed, the cure was easy to synthesize.
I really didn't expect Sila would be the perpetrator.
I guess the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Or something like that. I wonder what will happen to her now.
That'll be for her peers to decide. I'm just thankful we weren't another victim of the disease she created.
I'm not sure she created the disease, though. Based on my analysis, it looks like it may have occurred naturally. She merely prevented it from being cured. Took the opportunity to end her sorrow when it presented itself.
It's funny. It's an age-old longing, immortality. But this just goes to show that it may actually be something we should celebrate not having.
Well, where should we go next?
Let's let Meteor decide. I think that means wherever the stars lead us.
The end of Star to Star 3, The Curse of Immortality, from GK Music and Magic Voice Records.